Hello, I'll be presenting the chessboard game. Here, when I start playing the game, I have a couple fields I can fill up. For example, the names of the players, the time limit per each player, and the increment of time that will be added every time the player switch turns. So what I would like to state right now is every time we create a new game, a sound of the creation of game specific to the creation of game will be played, which is this one, the one that you just heard. Now, as you can see, both timers are not displaying any time because the game has not started yet. As soon as the white piece moves, the game will start and the timer for the black pieces will start running. As you see, there's a move sound, and also the black timer started running. Now I will do the same with the white timer. As soon as the black piece moved, the black timer stopped and the white timer started running. So now let's see what it sounds like to capture another piece. So what we've been hearing is that the sound for move. Now the sound for capture is the following. That is the sound for capture. Now I would like to show how other sounds work. In order to do this, I'll first generate a check. So there's a specific sound for check. In order to do this, I'll follow a specific strategy. Now, as soon as I move the knight over here, now the queen is able to capture this pawn. And when the queen captures this pawn, the king is exposed. The reason why this is a check and not a checkmate is because this black knight here will be able to capture the queen as soon as the queen is positioned here. So that means that the game can still play. You can also hear the sound and the history here. Just means that there is a check, although the time is still playing because the game is not over yet. The knight can still capture the queen. Now I would like to show a checkmate. So for the checkmate, I will follow a very similar strategy, just changing up some of the details. Now, instead of positioning the knight here, I will position the knight here. And in that way, as soon as I move the queen to this position, there's no piece. None of the black pieces are able to capture the queen, meaning that there's a checkmate. As you can see, that was a different sound. Now the history that is written right here is different. And the timer for both players have stopped. As you can see, there's nothing, no other piece that we can move. The game is over. Now the next thing I would like to show is a stalemate. So this will generate a different sound, but the game as well will be over. Very similar to what we saw for the checkmate. So I'll follow another strategy to generate this. That is a check sound. So what you just heard is a different kind of way of ending the game. Here you can see that there's a different history that is being written to the log, and the timers have stopped. Right now, there is no black piece that can be moved without the game ending. but there's also no checkmate. So the queen's still alive. The queen actually is not, sorry, the king is not actually in danger right now, but it's none of the black pieces are able to move right now. So next thing I would like to show is how to promote. So now that we've heard all the possible movements, I'd like to see how a pawn can be promoted. So I'll try to start clearing the path. Now that the pawn has reached one of the ranks, the first one, now, sorry, the 8th one, now a pawn could be promoted to either a knight, bishop, rook, or queen. So for example, I'll choose the rook, and now that piece has been replaced by a rook. Now, of course, we can play as if it were a rook, and we can, of course, promote other pieces to this to a different kind of piece. If I go ahead and so now I can promote this to a different piece if I would like to. For example, bishop. And now I can move this piece, this what used to be a pawn, the same way as a bishop now. And yes, what I would like to show now is what happens, the kind of sounds that are being displayed when there's just like a couple seconds until the end of one of the players' turns. So for that, I will generate the time limit will be very small. So I just chose 20 minutes. This is not what I wanted to choose. So the least time that we can choose is 1 minute. And as you can see, there is a timeout. Okay, so now the time is running for 1 minute exactly. I'll just keep playing. There's no time increment, so no matter if the turn switches, no more time will be added. We just need to keep playing for a whole minute. When the time's over, or before the time's over, 10 seconds before the before the turn of the black piece ends, a sound will be played, a different kind of sound, in order to tell the user or warn the user that the time for its turn is about to be over. So we just have to wait for a little bit more time. I will not switch turns because that would make both timers, that would make the black timer stop. So we're about to reach that point. So now the time is over, and we can see that the player lost by timeout. And that's it. The game is over. Timers are stopped, and there's nothing we can do with this game anymore. And that's all. Thank you.